everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Javier In The Air. That's right, in the air, not on the air. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is not, welcome back. So, for those of you who may have been watching out, I did miss last week. Last week I was out and about in San Antonio doing some work for my aunt and my mother. So I was moving stuff, picked up a rental truck, blah, 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 blah. No need to go into it other than I found a fantastic new bakery, at least as new bakery as I'm concerned. We'll talk about that later in the show. So here we are this Sunday, a Sunday that would be normally off, and I am on. And so we are here for another great episode. This is season 6, episode 5. So I hope you are going to enjoy it. So we have our normal trash in the hood, but we have 3 weeks this time, so that should be quite lengthy. We also have some more or some new, because it's time again, gardening section. And then we'll talk a little bit about what's going to go on for the next couple of months. So here we are, and let's go to our Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, weeks 134 through 136. All right, so here's day 134. Week 134, day 2. As you see, there's some craziness that always happens when we pick up from a weekend. There's a pair of pliers in the top right, bunch of cigarette butts as normal, some vape cartridges, a lot of food, beverage containers, crushed beer cans, a lot of paper this time. They're very crazy. Lots of little bits of paper, which means that the mowing crew was out there mowing the public property. So there's that. So this is day 4 of week 134. And as you see, I found a glove this time. Large pieces of cardboard underneath everything. A lot of vape pen and cartridges, water bottles, and all sorts of nonsense. Plus a good amount of cigarette butts. I think this was like 80 plus. So it was very interesting. Lots of some latex and some food wrappers and stuff like that. So kind of along the usual. So I did something different for day 6. I went ahead and marked down my trail. And this is exactly every little bump. Sometimes some of them are almost on top of each other. That's where I tried to show where I was stopping to get trash. So this was the route from my house up to 620, across down to Hatch all the way down to right in front of my sister's house, back up to Hickory. So sometimes these maps are pretty good and help a lot of people out as to what I'm doing. I also found these two neat little critters that'll go to another project that I'm working on. This is looks like a whale and then a pink frog. I don't think it's anything to do with that Pokemon stuff, but actually it doesn't. It's just a pink frog. So I thought it was cool to show it. Sometimes I do show this on nextdoor.com. So then here we are, week 134, day 6. This was a Saturday. We were out doing some walking in some crazy areas. We didn't do our mojo walk. There you see the beer cans and the wrappers and everything. That red thing, I'm not sure what that was. A couple of bottles, liquor bottles, and then that health juice, whatever that is. The normal amount of cigarette butts, which is sad to say, are growing as to what the average is now, along with all the normal miscellaneous stuff that you can find. Okay, so now we go to week 135. As you see here, and it's always interesting for me to see what differences we get from week to week. So there is some sort of support beam on the black over there with a bunch of different feet. Beer cans, food wrappers, food containers, crushed Red Bull, about 85 cigarette butts, and then a mini liquor and a couple of vape boxes. And then this was my favorite. We actually made a dime on this route, so we were excited about that. A dime goes a long way. Not really, but it's exciting to find something other than junk on the road when we're picking up stuff. So got this dime, picked it up, added it to the Javier In The Air college fund. Why it's college, have no idea. So then went into day 2 of week 135, and you see here again different route, but also interesting what differences there are in the route. So this was a lot of like receipts and coffee cups and containers, a pair of baby socks, food wrappers, a big piece of cardboard underneath everything, some kind of rubber. I want to say it's a mold of some sort in the shape of a heart at the top right, a street reflector, and then just a handful of cigarette butts. So as we did last week, I went ahead and did a map this week as well. So this one was a little bit crazy. Went from my house out up to Spider Lily View, all the way down to Mesquite, and then Mesquite down and over. I can't see what the street is past Yucca, and then up to Old Mill, and then Old Mill down to El Salito and El Salito home. So it was very interesting map, and we picked up some interesting things too. Again, it wasn't a lot of stuff, so I was pleasantly surprised, but picked up a wiffle bat, part of a hockey net, a for sale, a garage sale sign, lots of paper, copper wire, some bottle caps, some empty poo bags, a couple of some coffee cups, some chip wrappers, and then, like I said, just a handful of cigarette butts, which I was pleasantly surprised at and really happy about. Then, last but not least, and due to some other difficulties, we were only able to get out one day today. I'm sorry for this week. This is week 136, day 3. You see here, this again, another interesting route. We had some large pieces of cardboard underneath everything, lots of plastic, like plastic bags type of thing, a couple of vape boxes, Red Bull and other beer cans and Red Bull, soda bottles, food wrappers and containers like French fry holders and stuff like that. And then large pieces of plastic. That you see a fork there. So this must have been drive-through alley. Or something like that, plus the normal amount of cigarette butts that we've been getting these days. Okay, so there you have it. 3 weeks worth of picking, even though week 3 was only one day, which I apologize for to my group and to myself. I should have gotten out there more, but I had some difficulties and technical stuff come up so that I wasn't able to get out as many times as I wanted that week. In fact, yesterday I wasn't able to do it. It rained, of all things, here in South Texas, in the Cedar Park area. It rained long enough for me not to be able to walk, and then the sun came out. So, but then the wind picked up, and the wind was so strong it was blowing all my garbage cans and everybody else's garbage cans down the street, even though they had stuff in it. So that made it a horrible time to try to do anything. But we are now going to go into our Actually, let's go into our Zen moment, and then we'll get into our gardening. I'm really excited about this gardening season. I'll tell you all about it, but let's do our Zen moment first.
Alrighty, so there you have it, our Zen moment. Another great AI generated images from the editing software that I use. And the music is also from the editing software. It's free of charge if you have a membership. So be aware of that, which I do. So I get some really calming and really great. This was called, I think it was called Calming Electric Piano. So it didn't sound electric to me, but I'll take it. It's really good. So let me know what you think about some of the sketches, not really sketches, some of the sections and segments that I have for Javier in the Air. If you'd like to see something I haven't done before or you haven't seen it yet on the show, either check the archives or let me know and I'll bring it back or I'll do it. If you want to be on the show, by all means, please, if you have something that you are passionate about, except for the big two, which if you contact me, I'll let you know what they are. Except for the big two, everything else is fair game and I'd love to have you on and talk about something that you're passionate about. You can bring it with you. If you have a store, I can go out to your store if you're in my area and I can get to you within a reasonable amount of time on the weekend. Or we can always do a Zoom call or a Teams call, whichever works for you guys. If you'd like to be a co-host for an episode or two, I'm really ready, willing, and able, if I can get that out, to have an episode like that. I'd love to see it. It'd probably be a two-parter because we start talking about topics and stuff like that, and I need to figure out how I would set it up. But I'd love to have an episode like that or two. So please let me know. So now we're going to go into our gardening section, which is new. It won't always be all the time, but I wanted to keep everybody up to date and see if you are doing gardening like I am too. Hey everybody, it's that time again. Time for Javier in the Air's gardening section. So this is a picture that I took this morning being March 16th, 2025, of things I planted out in my garden. So I got my garden ready, pulled up all the grass and weeds and everything else I had been growing in it over the winter, made it nice and ready to go, added some more soil, tilled the soil that was there by just, flip-flopping it like you would flip burgers and stuff like that. Got it all mixed up nice and neat and started planting some things. So one of the things you see at the top middle is something called a jelly melon. I'm really hoping I can get these to grow this year because I thought it would be so really cool. Top right is some dark red beets. And then all these bags are different and they have different things in them. So let me go through them real quick. The bag at the middle left, it has a listing of all the different seeds that are out there. So I have some purple watermelon seeds that I posted. I'm sorry, blue. Then I also did some kiwi, and I also did some purple hot pepper seeds. And then, so those are all the ones that are close to the there at the center left. And then the bottom right in the green bag, inside the green baggie, are some tomato called Black Russian. So I'll talk to you a little bit about more of that here in a second. Okay, so I showed you all those first because I wanted you to see all the different types of seeds, plus the way that I'm maintaining them in a jar. So what you didn't see off screen was a mason type jar that I have labeled seeds. I know, very creative. That has all the seeds that I've either planted so far or that I still want to plant. Now, as soon as you open them up and you get the seeds out, and if you have any left, I like to put them in these little mini sandwich Ziploc bags so that it maintains it keeps the moisture out. Because what I do is that I then put them all into this mason jar with the snap lid on it, and then I put that in the fridge, and that will go throughout the non-season time. But anytime I get seeds, I put them in there. So in my backyard, as you saw there, I planted various types of fruits and vegetables. And the reason why I like to do various and unique types is because no one else is doing it. Now, perhaps no one else is doing it because it's hard to do, even though it says it grows in this zone and this is the time to plant. I've had terrible luck trying to get some of the things to grow. In fact, I've almost all but given up on dwarf blue banana trees that say, "Oh, it grows in this area. You shouldn't have any problem." Blah 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 blah. Well, it turns out I have horrible problems, and my thumb is green, but not green enough, obviously, for some of these things. Now, I've grown stuff before in the past. For those of you who haven't seen my show, please go check it out. Javier in the Air. Check the archives. Thank you. Um, I've done various things. I've done loofah. Yes, loofah is a plant. I've done corn. I've done golden beets. I've done watermelon, various types of flesh on the inside. The outside looks the same. I've also have some green onions, or they're called Egyptian walking onions, I think is what they're called. Those are still going great. I snip those every now and then and get the onion part and eat that, not the bulb, just the stem. I've also planted some, or been lucky to get some hot peppers that I didn't plant, but birds were nice enough to leave for me that actually grew. I've also grown some, actually, oh, some mini. Sometimes they're called kuka melons, sometimes they're called thumb finger melons, and whatnot and stuff like that. I've also grown one tiger melon, but I'm trying to still grow various things. Now, why do I do all that crazy stuff? One, because I can. Two, it says I'm in the right zone. And three, while everybody else is growing what normally grows very well, like tomatoes, like spinach, like everything that the Pavlovskis are growing, they're into potatoes this year. They'll probably get a bumper crop. They got their spinach going right now. They had a glorious winter crop going, and they had a lot of stuff from that. I've had their spinach, by the way. It's fantastic. I add it to my salads, or you can cook it. I like it fresh on salads, so I add it to my salads. So you have stuff like that. So and everybody in this neighborhood, there's probably a good 10%, 15% of houses that try to grow their own thing, and unfortunate or not, they're growing some of the same things. So I try to do something different. Hence the jelly melon, hence the kuka melons, hence the tiger melons, hence the black Russian tomatoes, which is an heirloom style tomato, supposed to be black, black purple. When they say black, sometimes it's just a deep purple, not the band, which is good, but purple, deep purple. And sometimes they are black, but then when you start cutting them up or you start doing something else with them, you can see a purple or reddish hue to them. So I thought I'd try something different because why not? I mean, if I were growing to make sure that I was supplementing my staples at home and I was trying to, jar fruits and try to jar vegetables because I needed it for the next season. I needed it to survive. Then I would be doing a different thing. I would turn my entire backyard into a garden, and I would be planting a ton of fruits and vegetables that I know will grow well here, so that I have something to eat. But fortunate, I'm able to survive without these. So I want to try something different. I'm also well, I'll keep going with that. So I'm going to keep trying something like that until I give up or I run out of all the seeds. So I wanted to show you the different seeds that I had there. I think there was one that I didn't wind up growing. I think those are the blue dahlia seeds. I'm going to try to grow those up front and maybe in different parts of the yard, because I do also want to bring the bees to my yard. Bees, not wasps or yellow jackets or murder hornets or anything like that. Bees to my yard so they can pollinate my fruits and vegetables. So if you are doing gardening, remember to try to plant some multi-flowers across your yard in the front or back, wherever, close to where you're growing, to see if you can get bees on it. Also on that note, as far as growing goes and flowers go, in my front yard, I am going to try, once again, to grow sunflowers. Now, the standard sunflowers everybody knows, which is yellow with a deep reddish brown center, which grows naturally just about everywhere in this area of Texas. Probably grows naturally in your area too if you're not in Texas. But me being me, last year I got some of those. I also got something called fire gold, which was reddish petals and a red gold center. I also got something called chocolate cherry sunflowers, and they were reddish purple flowers, petals, with a deep black red center. And I had it on the show before. Check the archives. So I'm going to try to grow those again this year up front. I'm still going to try to grow the blue sunflowers that has eluded me so far. I'm going to try to plant those, see if I can get those to grow in my front yard where I've grown the sunflowers before. Now, I had a conversation with the Pavlovskis this afternoon, and one of the things that you can do, which may help out your gardening, so this is a good garden tip. Very few tips I have as far as gardening goes, but this one seems to work. If you have seeds that you plant and the first generation grows up and you're able to harvest a fruit or a vegetable or whatever, a berry, whatever you get out of that, try to collect those seeds, because collecting those seeds will have a higher chance of growing in the same soil that you grew the first generation than does a seed coming out of a packet. Now, I know that sounds a little weird, so shouldn't the seeds out of the packet all grow? Yes and no. Sometimes they do, sometimes they're not that great, and they just don't grow. You have a higher chance if you use the seeds that are of a fruit or vegetable or berry that has already grown in the soil that you're using for the second generation. So it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So it already knows it. How it knows it, I don't know. If it technically knows it or not, I don't know. However, the chances are high, probability is high. Studies have shown, studies that are not me, agricultural people have done it, that you have a higher chance. Not saying it's going to grow for sure, because if you don't take care of it and you just let it dry out or you overwater it, it's not going to grow. But check it and see, and you'll be able to grow. You might be able to grow a little bit better. So I have some seeds from the first generation of sunflowers. I'm going to plant those along with some of the other ones, like the blue sunflower that didn't grow this past growing season. So I'm going to try that. So again, there's some differences that I'm growing. I do have my blueberry plants are beginning to grow. That's a good sign. I just transplanted one this weekend into a much bigger pot. My cherry trees don't look very good. Very forgetful of me, I didn't get a chance to cover them during the deep freeze that we got a couple months back, and so I think they're dead. If they are truly dead, once I'm able to get cherry plants again, I will grab 2 and transplant these into those. The blueberry I kept because I thought I was going to throw it out this weekend, and lo and behold, there's a couple of stalks that are green, and they have the little flower cups. It's kind of a weird thing that look like the ghost shell of a blueberry. So I might get lucky. We'll see, because the new one has it and these have it, so I was very pleasantly surprised. So we'll see how it goes. So we're going to do that. We're going to plant all that and see what we get, and wish me luck. And if you're planting something unusual in your garden and you'd like me to see, please send me a photo. If you're planting something that you normally plant in your garden and you'd like people to see, show your green thumb off. Please send me a picture or pictures, and I will get them on the show. I will use your name, first name only, unless you want my full name exposed. But it will be great to see some of the things that people are growing in this neighborhood or in this country or around the world. It'd be great. So keep going. Wish your green thumbs are doing well, and we'll talk again about gardening soon. And that is it, everyone. No spirit times this time because I was having some drinks earlier and don't think I wanted to add a beer onto what I've been drinking. So plus I didn't get to do a review of it anyway, so might as well keep it clean and just go with the gardening here and cut it a couple of minutes short. Not too much, but enough that I'm talking about it. So hope you enjoyed it. Remember, any thoughts, comments, or concerns, please let me know. Add them as a comment to my YouTube channel, which is Javier In The Air. Please subscribe if you liked what you saw and you'd like to continue seeing my corner of the internet. And remember, that's Javier In The Air, not on the air. There's a difference. And there's a guy out there also called Javier In The Air who joined well after I did. I don't know how he got the same name. He is a helicopter pilot, does something. So something with the helicopters, like tours or something like that. So he's not me, doesn't even look like me, so you don't have to worry about it. You see this face, you know you got the right Javier In The Air. So things are heating up. It was in the 80s today. I expect it to be around the 70s to 80s during the week. So please be careful out there. Traffic is picking up because of all the construction, which I might talk more about next time. And have a good rest of your Sunday. And I will see you all again in 2 weeks. Take care, everyone. Thanks a lot.